I'm accompanied by Tip Varnakomala, who is on our team, Digital Boost. He's a digital specialist. He's worked in marketing and in tech for a number of years and has a plethora, a really wide range of skills in tech. And we're going to be talking about the importance of images today. So as some of you may know, we have been focusing on branding this week and all of the things that can come along with branding. And this is just another installment towards getting you all set up with your business and your brand and making sure that visually you are here in the marketplace and spreading out so that people can recognize you anywhere. So thank you, Tip, for joining us again today. I love when you come on. And we're like matching today. I feel like we,
we've got the same background. We've got the same like shirt, like amazing.
Yeah, that's how we roll it to Digital Boost, you know. Now, just as a reminder for folks that are new, if you haven't tuned into sessions before, you can get your questions answered by this expert and any of the experts that come on any of the sessions that we run Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. by using the comment section, the Q&A function, or the chat function, depending on what platform you're streaming from. So do take advantage of this opportunity to personalize the session, to make it bespoke to you.
Ooh,
so
amazing.
Tip, you've got heaps of content for us today. I just know it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my video. I'm going to let you drive and I'll make sure everything's running in the back.
Amazing. Cool. Thank you, Anna-Marie. Good to see everyone again. I had a little break from these and now I am back for real. But yeah, so importance of images. So I guess, yeah, so from a business point of view, so this is kind of like a really fun session because I kind of break down, you know, what's really important to think about in terms of images for your business. And yeah, so let's just kind of get started on why these images are important. We're using Canva this week because we're trying to show everyone how easy it is to use Canva to create presentations. And these are professional presentations which we are also making in Canva. So yeah, why are images important? So yeah, I guess like we'll break down why you should think about it. I'm sure a lot of you do consume media. This is the media, I guess, me, Anna-Marie today. But yeah, visitors to your website will read the images and in a split second make a decision whether or not the rest of your website content is relevant to them. So I guess make sure that your images are relevant, and yeah, also I guess make sure that that they're of good quality. Because if they're relevant and of good quality, then they think, oh, if I'm looking for a camera or, you know, I'm looking for a speaker and they see a good quality photo, then, you know, they're more likely to think, oh yeah, this is the one for me, right? There's also stats, because we love stats here at Digital Boost. 60% of consumers who use online search say they prefer to contact a business whose listing includes an image. So yeah, I guess, you know, no one's going to buy anything if they don't have an image, but also in that, 70% of e-commerce website shoppers say the product image is very important when making their purchase decision. So that's basically just saying, you know, I guess we can all relate to this, right? Like if you're buying something online, you really want to see it, especially because you can't feel it, you can't smell it, you know, so you really want to have a good photo of it. I guess, you know, if we're all on like Uber Eats, even, you know, if you're buying food, you want to look at the pictures, and I'm more likely to pick the ones with a really nice picture. If you're shopping for clothes, if you're shopping for anything else, you know, just make sure, you know, I guess if you think about it, if you're buying something, the picture is really important, especially if you don't get to see it in person or feel it or smell it or all the other senses that you can't do digitally yet, at least. And yeah, I guess like the third point is they make your website look good, right? Good imagery is kind of like the shortcut to a good picture, to a good website, right? So yeah, so that's why images are important. And I guess pictures say 1,000 words. I was told to add this in as a quote by our photographer in our team, but I guess you can see, you know, this is obviously a really like dramatic example, but you know, the photo on the left and the right of the same product, but the one on the right is more appealing. Obviously, it's very edited and etc. But you can kind of see that, you know, for branding's sake, it's very important to use the really nice kind of looking photos. And we will go into this. So yeah, I guess the next step is like where to use these pictures. So Clearly you can use it on your website, but having a catalog of high quality images can help you create a whole range of things that will help grow your business and help you kind of have a presence in other places. So you can see, so also, by the way, every picture we use today is from a Digital Boost user or team member. So kind of just showing that, it's really, it is possible. Not everyone needs like a fancy camera to do it, which we'll go through soon. But yeah, I guess like just think for your pictures, you can use it for social media content. So top right is a cafe, of course, the cafe around the corner from our office. They do really nice everything, to be honest. So they've got really good presence, they just take it with their phone, looks great. Social media headers, profile pictures. So yeah, so for like your profile pictures, for your headers on all the different platforms, having good photos that you can use to fill up that space gives you like a more professional look and feel. So yeah, so that's really good in terms of social media. Like clearly, a lot of them, especially Instagram and Facebook, they're all very image focused, and images do a lot better than text posts. So if you do have images that you can like just throw on, it's really, really, really helpful. Google My Business as well, you can upload photos there. So if people do look at your shop, or they want to look at your products, on your Google My Business listing, you can load up all the photos there. And that's a really good way to, for people to see. And of course, like, you can use it, if you ever do a newspaper ad, or you're ever like doing an article somewhere, or like a blog post on your website, or like there's honestly like an endless use of images for, online. So, I guess it's not like offline where you would have to print it onto like business cards and stuff. You can still do that, but with online, you can kind of put it everywhere in seconds, as I'm sure you'll know. So yeah, and then I guess on the bottom right photo, this is really nice lady Ingrid. She does like lampshades, and like I guess textiles in general, and she has she's a user we've talked to quite a bit. She just has a range of photos that she got a professional to take, and then she just uses them when she needs them. So that's a really good way of doing it as well. So we'll go through how to take great photos. I guess, yeah. So I guess how to take nice pictures even with a smartphone. So not everyone needs a fancy camera, or to even hire a photographer, or I think ideally you invest in like a good phone, at least if you don't have one already. I'm sure a lot of you do have like a decent phone, because those little phones are getting some really good cameras these days. And then if you focus on these things here, no matter what your equipment is, it'll help you kind of get the most out of your pictures. So step one is focus on lighting. This is my most important. So use natural light, ideally, and make sure your picture is in frame. So you can see on the left hand side here, it's like during the day, during the morning, or during the afternoon. This is probably the best time to take most of your pictures, because natural light does come across like the best on a phone camera, especially if it's not like a fancy camera, essentially. Don't use flash usually. Use it outside if you are taking like a portrait to like kind of highlight someone's face. But yeah, I see too many people use flash when they shouldn't, and it just looks messy, especially if you're taking a picture of like a window or a glass, or something like that. I'm sure we've all seen that, and it doesn't look the best. So try to avoid flash as often as possible. Actually, fun fact, my dad is a wedding photographer, so I used to do a lot of that on the side. So I guess this is also my topic. So I tended to avoid using flash, but yeah, use grid lines. I think, no, not that one. Grid lines to balance your shot. So you can kind of see it's a bit small and faded, but in the picture there, that there's like these grid lines on the phone, and it's kind of like it breaks it up into like 9 squares, and then you can figure out what's in the center, what's on the right, and stuff. I'd use that to compose your shot and balance it as well. The last one for this slide is embrace negative space. So don't feel the need to stuff your images with all your products. You can use separate posts for that. So I guess it's kind of like this slideshow, right? It's kind of better. Like I've decided to use one picture, one title, one subtitle, and one like bullet point list. It's kind of like that. So it's not too busy, I guess. So negative space is a really important, I guess, theory and thing to think about in like design and photography and like websites as well. you know, if something's too busy, people don't know what to look at. So you kind of want to make sure that people know what to focus on. So yeah, definitely embrace negative space. You know, have a look at what it means. You know, it essentially just means like you leave things blank, so the thing in the middle is shiny and bright, and people know that it's important. A few more tips. I'm just gonna, the photo's going off and it's annoying me, so I'm gonna throw that on the ground and get back into it. So consider buying a mobile tripod. So this is kind of, this slide's more so like if photos are really important to your business, because you know clearly some industries it's more important to take nice photos of your tourism or hospitality, or you know, I guess creative, you know, clearly, but maybe if you're construction, I'll definitely invest in good photos for your website, but you probably don't need photos like every other day, right? Whereas you might if you worked in hospital. So yeah, consider buying a mobile tripod. This will help you kind of like, I guess, lay out your shot better, and I guess, you know, if you want to take a picture, you know, of yourself as well, it's a really good way to do that. Invest in a professional camera or quality phone if photos are an important part of your business. So like I say, you don't need it, but you know, you can tell the difference, you know, once you get really good at it. So, you know, invest in a camera or a good phone. You know, to be honest, any phone like in the last 5 years would be more than satisfactory. But you know, if it is really important to you, get a camera. And I guess just keep practicing, right? If you keep practicing how to take these shots, you know, you get better at it, kind of just like everything else. Take candids, not just post photos. So yeah, you know, a lot of the time people, I guess, take post photos of things. You know, sometimes, you know, it's just nice to take a photo of like, you know, the busyness of your restaurant. You don't need to overthink it. Sometimes it's nice to take a photo of like, you know, I guess if you're working in construction, maybe like the work site and everyone's kind of busy, you know, that kind of stuff. It can just be like anything and anything. Like you don't need to think too hard about it. Avoid zooming in, especially if you're using a phone, because it does degrade the quality. I'm sure most of you know this, but you know, if you do zoom in, yeah, it's usually not ideal. I'd rather you know, walk up closer or just kind of crop it later on. And keep your lens clean. This is like pretty obvious, but I guess, you know, sometimes you can tell. This is sometimes your quality isn't as good, and it's because like your lens might have smudge or oil on it. Just, you know, give it a clean every few days anyways, but yeah, that's just a good way to kind of keep the quality high. Cool. If all of that went over your head and it's a bit scary, there are ways to find photos, whether it's online or from a photographer, but I will caveat and say that, you know, it is good learning how to take good photos. Like, you know, I definitely like, I guess, just keep practicing and get feedback from your customers or from your friends. Just be like, hey, like, you know, like, how can I improve this? But, you know, sometimes you do need to find some good high quality photos. And just a reminder, if you've just joined us, any questions, put it in the Q&A in the chat on Facebook, LinkedIn, or if you're on the Zoom, and we'll answer them at the end, most likely. But yeah, how to find high quality images online. So you can use stock images for your website. Ideally, you have website photos that you've taken yourself, but these can be helpful if you're making, you know, and making your website more interesting. And if you don't have the photography skills yet, it can also be good to kind of like fill up space and all that kind of stuff, right? For things that are relevant to your business. Make sure you only pick relevant photos though. But yeah, you can find them on Shutterstock. There's a new website called Picky, which is like a New Zealand stock image site. So all the photographers are New Zealanders. So when you buy photos off there, you're actually helping some small New Zealand photographers, which is really cool. There's lots of good stuff on there. So I'd recommend just looking at Picky. Super cool. Picky.co.nz, I believe. Royalty-free images using an advanced search on Google. You can quickly, if you just find how to find royalty-free images, it should come up. But yeah, don't just use any downloaded image online. This could get you in trouble. So make sure they're royalty-free, you know, free use. Because if you do use someone's work, you know, you can get in like legal trouble essentially, and we don't want that. So just be cautious with what you use, and I guess better play it safe than sorry, right? If you do use a photographer, you know, no matter what business or what industry you're in, you can benefit in using a professional photographer. Benefit from having professional photography on your website. So, you can see on the right here, it's one of my favorite photographers, Charles Jordan. He's on our team. So, I decided I will feature him. But essentially, yeah, so, a lot of these tips are from him, but having a professional photographer can help you build a catalog of images you can reuse whenever you need high quality imagery. So I guess I know they are quite expensive for a lot of small businesses, but sometimes it is worth the investment, just getting someone in for a day, taking heaps of photos for maybe a couple of hours of all my products, of like our shop, of me, definitely get photos of yourself as well. It's a good chance for it. And people do like seeing the face behind their business. So yeah, definitely pick a day to do it. Consider the previous work of them and find one that matches the same mood as you, or someone who you see their photos and you like it, because that's the most important thing, right? If it reflects you, it probably will reflect your business. This is a tip from Charles. Ensure you communicate the mood you are trying to achieve. So fun, professional, etc. I'll show you in a second what he means, but essentially a lot of the issues come from a lack of communication. So the third point is talk. This is the best way to get the most out of a photographer while having them be proud of their work, because if they really enjoy doing it, that's kind of the goal of it, right? So yeah, so definitely talk to them about what you're looking for, what kind of imagery you want. They will come back hopefully being like, oh, I can do this, or this is a bit hard, or or maybe your shot, blah blah blah. So yeah, just keep talking, keep it honest and open. I guess the same as when you hire anyone in general, but especially a photographer, because it's a really important time for your business to kind of grow, and yeah, so things to note. Choose the right mood and theme. So as I said, you want to make sure that the theme is correct. So both of these are nice photos, I would say, but ensure you choose the correct tone for your business and then stay consistent. So obviously on the one on the left, or Francis from Demand Lab, that one is quite, I guess, professional. It's quite sharp. It's it's definitely going on the corporate websites and the business websites and the LinkedIn's and all that kind of stuff. Whereas on the right is the girls from Dough Donuts in Auckland. They do amazing donuts, but that's on their website. So that one is quite fun and chirpy, and this is who we are. We're fun. Our theme is pink. Their theme is pink. They're just kind of showing themselves off as who they are, and that's really cool. So definitely, clearly sometimes the one on the left works best, but sometimes the one on the right does work best as well. So make sure you choose the correct tone, and then keep at it. Use relevant imagery as well. So focus only on images that are relevant to your business and its products. I would say usually avoid posting personal images and images of your holidays, etc. I say usually because sometimes if you have a business and it's very personal to you, people do enjoy seeing tip is taking a break. That's cool, but don't overload it, because most people would follow you for your products and to see your products and see what's happening and what's new. I've seen businesses post their family and stuff, which is really cute, but sometimes it's not relevant. So you need to make sure you find that balance, but you kind of know your customers and what they enjoy the most. So, you can make that call, but definitely, I'd say if you want to play it safe, just post business photos mostly. Definitely show who you are and who your team are, but don't do too much of that, I guess. Be purposeful what images you use. So yeah, so don't just post, the same photo every day. Be like, hey, I'm going to show off my flat white today. I'm going to show off my cappuccino today. I'm going to show off, I guess for this business, I'm going to show off, this new dish we got. I'm going to show off my team today. Just don't post the same thing every day. Be purposeful, but yeah. And then I guess see what competitors in your own or similar industries are doing. This is a good way to kind of figure out what's working well. So maybe there's a business that has a huge Instagram following or a huge Facebook following. You can see, oh, how do they do that? And you see what kind of stuff they're posting, and then you say, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll post more of my food because I haven't been doing that enough, or maybe I'll post more of my team. If you do go to Instagram, something I do recommend is reposting. If someone tags you in a post, so if this is really cool, if you're selling products online and someone purchases from you and you say, oh, cool, you know, that's so nice, but post it on your story, right? Like it's good. And then save them as a story. You can see, hey, like these are all the people that have bought my product and how happy they are. And if someone goes on your profile and they can see all of that in one place, yeah, that's really cool. So, you know, if you need help with that, I didn't add an example of it, but if you need help setting up this, it's got a save story on Instagram, and then it's a good way to keep all the relevant things that people have said about you in the same place. Yeah, we can work through that together. Just let me know. So yeah, that is Odette, and that is relevant imagery. Don't forget to resize your images. So, you know, to ensure fast loading speed on your website, it's important to resize images to ensure fast loading on web pages, because, you know, if you're taking a photo with like a massive camera, you know, the quality is going to be amazing. You don't need that much quality on your website, because that quality is for, you know, some cameras, you know, you can take a photo and it can literally go on the billboard down the road, right? The massive giant billboard on the main road. We don't need that much quality on our websites. It will slow your website down. So yeah, so, you know, go on, like there's one called Adobe Resize tool. So if you just search Adobe Resize, it's free. You upload your photo, you say, I need it to be this size, and then you can put it on your website or your social media or whatever. And it also saves space if you don't need that much quality, I guess. And if you need to like crop it, just use your mobile phone tool or your, you know, I guess even Paint, honestly, Paint on your Windows, or I think it's the Photos app on your MacBook. You know, just use the basic ones to crop, and they can help you ensure good framing of your shots. And editing, don't be afraid to edit. So there are many apps on mobile which make editing a breeze, which are, you know, they're freemium, so which means, you know, they're free to an extent, but then if you want added features, you pay. So apps like Instagram have a really good free editing apps, and with software that can kind of do most of the things you need. Visco, VSCO, is my favorite editing app. This is the one on the left. So this one has like all the features that Photoshop would have. So I guess the point of this slide is like, you know, you don't need Photoshop, you don't need a professional, you can just play around. So Visco has like some preset filters. They have, you know, like all the adjustment tools, you know, so once you figure out what saturation and lightness and hue and temperature and all that means, you know, you've got all of that on your fingertips. But if you don't know what all that means, they've got some preset filters which make, honestly, most photos look good most of the time. Even though I and a lot of people know Photoshop really well, a lot of the time we just use Visco and like use preset filters because it just does it easily and quickly, and you don't really need to do all the hard work, right? So definitely get Visco. The pros use it as well. Snapseed is a really good one as well. That one's more like if you need to do some advanced cropping or you need to like fix your images. It's a bit harder to use, but, you know, have a look at the features there. You might, you know, need it one day. And yeah, the good thing about like Instagram and Visco, I think those two are the only ones, but you can create your own filters, which you can reuse and recycle to create consistency in your posts. So essentially this means that, you know, once you create a filter, or if you use a certain filter, you can reuse it consistently. So yeah, that's like a really good way to, I guess, make sure that, you know, like your tone's similar, like all your colors are similar. So maybe like you want everything to be black and white, you can do that if you want. Maybe you want everything to be, you know, really bright and happy, you can do that. Maybe you want, you know, a lot of negative space in your photos, you want, you know, a lot of white, you want it to be very clean. You can do that as well. And then Visco can help you, especially if you save a filter. So definitely have a look at, you know, those kind of apps. Get comfortable with them. It will, you know, make your life a lot better, a lot easier. You don't need to hire any pro. And I guess if you take a photo with your phone, this can help you like blow it up to like amazing, right? Good photo, amazing photo with some editing apps. So, also and one more, keep it natural as well. So don't, you know, I guess I would avoid kind of doing filters that kind of make it look unnatural. I'd say keep it as natural as you can while, yeah, keep it as natural as you can, essentially. So don't make it look too like edited, because people usually, especially if you're selling a product, people kind of prefer it looking natural. Obviously, make it a little bit brighter, you know, make the color a little bit more true to life, you know, crop it a bit, that kind of stuff. But don't don't make it look fake, because if people see, because people can tell when a photo kind of looks fake, these days, because everyone's kind of aware of Photoshop these days. People know what editing stuff looks like. So yeah, so keep it real, because that will keep your products looking real as well. And then the last thing is get inspired. So have a look at websites such as Pinterest, Instagram, etc. for inspiration or great imagery. So especially if you're in the industry, so say you're a furniture store, maybe say furniture store imagery, maybe you're a restaurant, or maybe you're like a record store, maybe, just have a look at like what kind of images they're using, use it as inspiration, because that's kind of the way to do it. You get inspired by other people and then you make your own kind of take on it for your own amazing little product. So yeah, get inspired, even if it's looking at competitors quietly, that's a really good way to kind of figure out what others are doing. And yeah, and if you definitely bounce it off with your team, with your co-workers, with your I guess partners, suppliers, customers, of course, see what they like, and get some feedback, because sometimes it's a learning process, especially if you don't if you haven't done it much before. But yeah, that's kind of the bulk of it. So if you have any questions, please let us know. If you have any questions later on and watching the recording, maybe email us at support.digitalboost.co.nz. We're happy to answer any questions on digital tools, on photography, on all that kind of stuff as we see fit, or as you need, I guess. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it for now. So I will move you guys back to the screen.
Hi.
Hello.
That was perfect. I just was jumping over to the various platforms to see if anybody, we've got a bunch of folks viewing on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, but just giving them an opportunity to kind of type in any questions that they may have to get them answered by you. I love the use of the apps. I think that it makes life a little bit easy when we can just do some quick editing on our phone, and some of those tools will be really great to use.
Yeah.
Now this PPT will be uploaded, like this PowerPoint, these slides. Whoa.
That was like an explosion.
I'm turning into an avatar. Sorry guys. Will be uploaded onto the website for everybody to view, and they'll be able to download some of the links that you had there. Well, maybe not the links, but they'll get the names of all the products that you kind of talked about.
Yeah. I'll put a slide at the end with all the links as well, so they're all there, so don't worry about it.
You are a legend, Tip. Thank you so much. Really.
And then doing it, I guess, like I also say on like your point before, like a lot of these tools are easy to use, but they're also really excellent to use. Like as I said, like I guess even I use Canva for this. Like I can use PowerPoint. PowerPoint's scary for a lot of people, but sometimes the easier to use tools are really good as well. So that's the same with the editing apps like Visco and Instagram even. Like sometimes it's just a lot easier than Photoshop, and you get really good results anyway. So why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, I think you need to find what works for you. Everybody's got their different level of tech. Everybody has different way of learning and a different way of, applying those learnings. Really? So having a play around with different tools and seeing what you like. I was talking in the session yesterday, we were talking about Canva, and I like to use it on the desktop, but I don't like to use it on my phone. I find that it's just not big enough. Like my phone isn't big enough to use the application. So I use what was Adobe Spark, which was a free app as well. That's now, I think you download it as Creative Cloud, but if you look up Adobe Spark, it'll probably take you to the right thing. And that's free as well. And I find that quite easy to use. It's got a bunch of cool font options and stuff like that. So depending on what device I'm using, sometimes I use a different application, and folks might find that as well. So don't feel like you have to use the same thing everywhere. Sometimes it can be easier though, can't it? Because you can store a lot of data in these apps, because they generally will store stuff in the cloud. So yeah, find what works for you. Try some new things out. Don't be afraid to play around with a tool. Once we had Ryan Ashton on here, and he had said, you know what, if you see a new button on an app, hit it. Like touch it, have a go of it. If you're like, oh, that's new, try it. Because that's how you keep yourself from being locked into your own bubble, into your own little learning circle. Every time you expand that comfort zone, you create a larger comfort zone. And that's how we start to move out and change the way that we do business. Just one little bit of discomfort at a time, I guess, and just taking it in bite-sized pieces. So I'm just going to double check and make sure we've got everyone. It looks like folks are watching, but no questions have come through. That's fine, because you know what? We are available through our support line. You can contact us at support@digitalboost.co.nz. We are happy to take your questions there. We can line up a phone call if that's more for you, more suited to your learning. We can do a Zoom call. We can just chat via email. It's all available to you as a Digital Boost registrant. And if you're tuning in with us on one of our social media channels and you're a bit cheeky and haven't registered to Digital Boost yet, I would encourage you to register to Digital Boost. Get on the site, because you miss out on a lot of special offers and a lot of the competitions. You need to be on the site in order to get access to those. And I know that we have a lot of comps coming up this year. So get ready to get yourself in the draw and learn heaps and build your business to where you want it to go.
Yeah, cool. And then I guess, yeah, and then I'd recommend everyone just, have a play, have a try. It is like quite a hard topic if you haven't really done much of it before, in terms of like taking really nice photos. So yeah, have a try, and just let us know when you have questions later on, because I'm sure you will. And yeah, just get learning on that, because once you do get like a good presence on your website, on your socials and everything with really nice imagery, it can definitely it can help you so much, just because it kind of adds an extra layer of like authority, extra layer of professionalism to your business, which is really important. So definitely just have a try, if you haven't really thought about it before.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Tip. You're wonderful. Now we have, tomorrow is Thursday, and we've got our last coffee and questions for this January period. We usually don't run coffee and questions at 10 a.m., but we thought it was a really nice way to start the year. So coffee and questions will be running tomorrow at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with the team. You can get questions that are individualized. They are bespoke to you, answered by our team. You can meet us. We can meet you. We can see your face, or you can stay hidden. It's up to you. So I hope that you can join us tomorrow at 10. In order to register for that event, just as a reminder, it is not a webinar. It is not published on our social media channels. And that's because we want you to feel that you're in a safe environment and give you anonymity in that sense. So in order to attend those events, you do need to register on the website to get the link for the Zoom meeting. So do sign up. We'd love to see your face and connect our face with a name for so many folks that tune in with us on the daily. Yeah, so we'd like more coffee and questions. Yeah, we might. I'm going to put it forward, Dean. It's a really good, I actually think they're really good sessions. And as we build, it's a great way to maintain community. They might not be every week, but we might do them quite regularly. We were running them in the afternoon, and that worked really well for people's timings. So it might shift in the time that it runs. But,
yeah, just sorry, just a spoiler. Yeah, I think we're going to do them every 2 weeks in the future. So yeah, so definitely it's a good chance to meet us.
Yeah, we'd love to meet you, and do reach out to us on the community page. If you've got some cool images, or you've applied some of your learnings here, we'd love to hear about that. Connect with other business owners. Join the Facebook community page. It's well worth it. You get to advertise your products on Fridays, which is really, really cool. So have a wonderful day, everyone. If you need anything, contact us. We're here to help, and we will see you tomorrow at Coffee and Questions. Ka kite.
Bye.
I'm turning into